everyone, today's an exciting day because I'm going to share with you my physical Nintendo Switch collection. So I'm going to group things in different orders and I'm going to start with the biggest items in my collection, and that is Ring Fit Adventure, a wonderful exercise game that really is a great infusion of RPG mechanics and working out. The next large item that I have in my collection is Taiko no Tatsujin Drum and Fun, which many of you may know as the rhythm drum game. And this is the collection that comes with the physical drum as well as the game. Following that up with Shin Megami Tensei 5. And this was the limited edition. Any unboxings or reviews that I have, which I have for SMT5, will be linked in the description below if you want to check that out after this video. Starting with my collection of Mario games, we have the classic Mario Kart 8, which is actually getting a new DLC this year. We then have Mario Party Superstars, which is the better of the Mario Party games if you're going to pick one of those up. Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, which is also multiplayer. Paper Mario and the Origami King, which I quite enjoyed despite the changes from the original Paper Mario series. Super Mario 3D All-Stars, which was a limited run in when it was available physically. You can still get it at retailers, but I would recommend picking this one up if you do see it, because I'm not sure how long it'll still be in circulation at retail. And finally, Super Mario Odyssey, which is an amazing Mario platformer. Definitely pick this one up if you are a fan of Mario. I can highly recommend this to everybody. Next up, I have Yoshi's Crafted World, which is such an adorable game. It also has local co-op, so you can play with friends. Moving on to my Pokémon games, starting with the latest release, which is Pokémon Legends Arceus. This is such a wonderful step forward for the Pokémon company and Game Freak, and definitely a well thought out new direction for the mainline series. Next up, I have Pokémon Shield, which was the latest generation of Pokémon games to be released on the Nintendo Switch. I also have Pokémon Shining Pearl, which is the remake of the original Pokémon Pearl version. Now, regardless of what people say about the graphics, I actually found the chibi art style cute and did think it enhanced the version of the game. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, which is such a classic game, and it also includes some enhancements such as a character that allows you to get through the levels a little bit more easily. It is also wonderful to play with a friend, so if you can play it cooperatively, I would recommend you do so. Moving on to my Zelda collection, starting with the Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. Such a lovingly remade game from the original Game Boy game. We have The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Now, it may be an unpopular opinion, but I'm not the biggest fan of this game. I don't like the weapon breakage system, and it really turned me off playing it, especially in those early few hours of the game itself. I have The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD Remake, which was the remake of a Wii game, and you can use the controllers like you could the previous Wii game. Cadence of Hyrule, which is an amazing indie game. I would recommend this to any fans of Zelda. It uses all the music from the Zelda series in what is a game I can only describe as a hidden gem. Undertale, the classic indie RPG, This physical version is actually the Japanese version. Doraemon Story of Seasons. I'm fairly certain this was exclusive European release and never got a North American release. If you have been watching videos from my channel, you'll know I'm a big fan of Cotton, and this of course is the Fantastic Night Dreams Cotton reboot for Nintendo Switch. This next one's B Project, and this is the Thrive and Killer King version. This game is a visual novel based on B Project, and for those that don't know who B Project are, they're a virtual idol group from Japan who have grown in popularity to the point that there's even an anime adaptation of the group. Another non-English game I have is Yokai Watch 4++. I really love the Yokai Watch games, and it's a shame that this 4th edition will probably never come to the West. Yokai Gakuen Y, or Yokai Academy Y in English, is also another game in the Yokai franchise that is unlikely to get a localization in the West. Crayon Shin-chan, Orato Hakase no Natsuyasumi, Aurora Nai Nanokaka no Tabai, released last summer in Japan for Nintendo Switch. Crayon Shin-chan is extremely popular in Japan, but also in Spain. However, it is unlikely that this will get an English localization. Moving on to my Otome game collection, and Otome is a genre of visual novels in which you can date male characters throughout the story. Starting with Busterfellows, and Busterfellows is an exciting one. It's got a lot of crime and drama. Now to my favourite Otome game, Cupid Parasite, in which you play as Cupid, who works for a marriage matchmaking agency, and you are tasked with matching the Parasite 5 with potential future wives. Bakumatsu Renka Shinsengumi, Cafe Enchante, Collar X Malice, which is a really great starting otome for people new to the genre. Dairoku, Agents of Sakutani, Olympia Soiree, another great starting otome. Piafore, Fated Memories, which is set in Italy. And Steam Prison, which has a really nice world building within the visual novel. I played the original Monster Hunter stories and thoroughly enjoyed it, so I was surprised to see Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin release. I'm really glad that more people found this spin-off series for Monster Hunter. The Wild at Heart. I adored this indie game, and if you enjoy games like Pikmin, you should definitely pick this one up. It's calm, it's cozy, and yet it's still full of puzzles and adventure. Bayonetta 2, which is from developer Platinum Games. This copy of Bayonetta 2 did come with a download code for the original Bayonetta. Unfortunately, it wasn't on the same cartridge. And of course, just like everyone else, I'm eagerly awaiting the release of Bayonetta 3. Trigger Witch, a really fun twin-stick shooter. Metallic Child, which is a fun roguelite experience that I personally think's gone a little under the radar when it was released. Hyperlight Drifter Special Edition. Immortals Phoenix Rising, another underrated game that I think was really enjoyable to play through. It also looks great on Nintendo Switch. Moving on to my B-Side Games Japan collection, definitely the prettiest artwork out of my whole Switch collection, and starting with Golf Story, the Australian developed indie classic game that combines RPG elements with golfing. Cat's Quest 1, Kyogeki Quartet Fighters, Hamiko, Brave Dungeon plus Dark Witch's Story, Combat. All these B-side games do come with English apart from Kyogeki Quartet Fighters. However, as it is a shmup, it does have English menus, so it's not a drawback if you don't speak any Japanese. Some more Japanese games. Yuricamp, Have a Nice Day. Oshiri Tante, Pupu, Mirai no Me Tante Tojo. Iruvero Sompu plus Rajurugi Swagu, or Ilmatic Envelope Swamp plus Radigi Swag in English. A zany shoot 'em up that is a must for any fans of the genre. Moving on to my super rare games collection, I have Little Bit, Super Crush KO, Roki, and one you wouldn't have seen before from my collection, Metal Unit. Murder by Numbers, Fire Emblem Three Houses, which is no doubt one of the best strategy RPGs on the Nintendo Switch. Wargroove, which is another strategy RPG. Langrisser 1 and 2, a faithful remaster of a classic strategy RPG. Astral Chain, which I think is one of the most underrated Nintendo Switch games around. It is hard to find a physical copy these days, but if you can pick it up, I would highly recommend doing so. Pretty presents NIS Classics Volume 1 has 2 games within the same game cartridge, and those 2 games are Phantom Brave and the Bermuda Triangle Remastered, and Soul Nomad, the World Eater. Continuing on with some more RPGs, I have Octopath Traveler, The Alliance Alive, Criz Tales, Aria Chronicle, and Children of Zodiacs. Arietta of Spirits, which is a top-down RPG. Spiritfarer, which is an emotional indie game that is all about loss and moving on. On to visual novels with If My Heart Had Wings, Aokana, 4 Rhythms Across the Blue, Clannad, which is a classic visual novel that I would recommend anybody interested in the genre to pick up. Buried Stars, an underrated visual novel, which happens to be one of my favourite ones that I have played through in recent years. Neocab, a relaxing and chill visual novel in which you are a cab driver in a futuristic city. Eternal Radiance, a cross between a visual novel and RPG. World Ends Club, which is also a cross between a visual novel and a platformer. Feel free to claim the digital soundtrack if no one has already as well. Finally, to the latest Nintendo Switch game I picked up, and that is Atelier Sophie 2, Alchemist of the Mysterious Dream. It's so much fun. I'm having the best time playing this game, and playing it on Nintendo Switch portably makes it even more enjoyable. So I have way too many Nintendo Switch games, as you can see from the video. Let me know in the comments below if you have most of these games, or if there's any games you saw in my collection that you'd like to add to your own. Don't forget to subscribe for more gaming content, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!